go. Desert Cup, game 1 between HJFE in the yellow playing as Saracens, Erikur in the blue playing as Vikings. So both seems likely to go archers here, but we'll see. They certainly have options. So let's see, nice map for HA here, has the main goal to the side, but with a bit of walling here, that should be easily secured. And he has the back gold here as well. Nice connections between the woodlands here, with a backstone in the event of Man at Arms Tower Rush or something. So Erikur's side slightly more wide, but also by walling he will be able to cover more area in total, but it's a more open map, so I would say that he might be forced more on the aggressive side there. He seems to have some trouble finding his sheep as well, Erikur, but now we should be finding the last 4. There's the boar. Yeah, there we go. So now he has all his resources covered. So sheep laming is allowed in this tournament, also deer laming if you can pull it off. That's not really an option here on Erikur's side. But boar laming is strictly prohibited. Turn down the music a bit here, I think it was a bit high actually. So, could have almost seen a scouts war here, but they don't run into each other. But I wonder if the boar, if it's allowed to. No, HJ turns back. I wonder if it would be allowed to block the villager during the war. I mean, or if that would be considered boar laming as well. So house next to the bears already. I'm getting the impression that HJ will do a militia style opening, either a rush or a man at arms opening. This is, I guess, not ideal, but since you don't have a walk around here, but it's fine. Maybe it actually minimizes the walking distance for the villager here to drop off food. So actually there's a slight villager lead here, which means Erikur must have had some idle time. And also, I guess he's going for this woodland first since it's the closest one, but it's also should be quite easy to deny for some forward archers or towers or whatnot. So minute 18 pop now. Here's a house. I assume HJ will drop a barracks as well if he hasn't already. That's the common play. It's not a rush, I guess, since the barracks isn't up yet. But like Leventar's play, he needs to quick wall now. Otherwise Erikur could, well, Erikur is not. There we go, delaying the barracks a bit here. HJ also without loom, which is, he might lose a villager here. That's really bad news. Yeah, he's been blocked. Oh boy. Yeah, so very much delayed barracks and one villager down for HJ. So it's 20 to 9 villagers now. Barracks already up for Erikur. He will definitely be first out with the men arms here. And looks like he's looking to wall this side of a bit as well. So bad news, but then again, HJ will have the barracks up and he will be able to defend if in the event with rush coming forward. I think the resource count should be, yeah, Erikur is up, HJ will be any second, so it's only a 3% difference in the uptimes here. Considering HJ has lost one villager, that's good news. Now going for a second wood line, which is also the case of Erikur. They both have quite a few wood, so it looks like the men-at-arms into archers build for both of them. HJ has one more on wood though, I think, already. No, never mind, Erikur has one more on wood. And militia going out for HJ. Does he want to intercept the rush from Erikur? Erikur seems kind of... He has one militia out. HJ also one militia out, but I think he's staying on the one militia because he knows he's already delayed in the... No, he's adding one more. It's gonna be three militia into men-at-arms. So... And HJ might be slightly delayed with the men-at-arms upgrade here, so this should play to Erikur's advantage. Let's see, scouts sees the rush. HJ of course knows the location of the barracks, and he's forcing Erikur to stay at home for the moment. Erikur camping his militia by the barracks because that's usually the spot to hit first with a rush like this. Population is pretty much the same, 4 military, 2 idols for Erikur though. Where are those? They are the gold. That's huge actually. That means I think he was force dropping gold to get his men-at-arms upgrade in, and HJ actually didn't click men-at-arms at all because he's kind of he's idling everything at the moment. Not sure what's the reasoning behind that. Men-at-arms is in for Erikur, and HJ needs to back away and get home. He actually takes the fight here, which is, you know, why not weaken them a bit before they can actually get there, and then HJ will already have ranges up, producing archers already, so he might, and he weakens Erikur's scout quite a lot here as well. He could snipe the scout now. So HJ goes for 2 ranges. It means also that palisades with mass Saracens Saracen archers have a bonus against buildings, so if he tries to if he masses archers, then palisades won't help Erikur at all here. The side here is open. Erikur could go hit HJ's gold now, which is pretty exposed, but he would have to go all the way around. He might even consider, what's his scouting like? He might, okay, he doesn't know actually. So he's looking for an opening, I assume, but here are the archers. Likely to have fletching very soon as well. So before fletching, the men-at-arms can take the fight here. But Erikur doesn't check that, he just expects fletching to kick in any moment. He's also getting housed here. Chasing the scout now a little bit, but it's just dancing around and allowing the archers to get even more hits in. Erikur doesn't even engage, I don't think he's looking here. And this could be an elaborate trap from HJ's side. He should kind of waste his scout there, but I suppose his main goal is to clean up the men-at-arms before they can do any further damage here, and then go forward with his now 5 archers with fletching. Okay, HJ with, I was going to say the military lead, but Erikur is pretty much the same. HJ with 3 skirms though, and 4 skirms for Erikur, and he has fletching as well. He has the armor as well. I think. Let's see. No, never mind. No extra upgrade there. But HJ backing off, waiting for more numbers. Their numbers are equal now. So this is gonna put to the test who has the better micro here. Erikur also with his scout still alive, so he can still gather intel on the map. Could we get some hits in on the woodline here now? But he seems like he wants to delay the walling on HJ's the left side of HJ's base, and this villager might go down here. He pulls it back. Okay, realizes there's peril here to try and wall, and maybe go for this section instead, a bit closer to home. Now actually deletes a wall here or a house here to send his archers back home. Is he gonna run all the way around? Or is he expecting? He might be expecting Erikur's archers to go in this direction, and then he wants to intercept, but then there's nothing there. So now HJ's archers are really out of position here. But he's also out of danger, so once HJ looks like he may be idling to go to the next stage now. No, it's not. It's just general idle time. Putting up the market, Saracens have a market bonus, so we could use the market to produce more military or whatnot, and these skirms unfortunately will go down to Erikur's army, so that's kind of a waste. But look now at the resources, closing in on getting to the castle age, buying himself an advantage here, because Erikur is close but not quite there yet, he's missing gold. And there's no market for Erikur either. Now HJ's kind of trapped his own army inside of his walls. He may be trying to force a choke point somewhere, for example here, and sit with the archers here and then take a great fight against this army. Numbers are roughly equal here, I think. Let's see if we can get the skirms count here. 9 skirms to 3, 6, 9 skirms. So only one more archer for Erikur, and that's about it. And Erikur is only slightly behind to the castle age, that's nothing significant here. He may even have a stronger eco considering he has the Viking free handcart and stuff. A score lead that could be attributed a lot to scouting intel still, I think, because this is HJ scouting and Erikur's looks like this. It's a bit wider overall. But then again, Erikur is missing some knowledge about general outline of HJ's base here. He doesn't even know that this section is walled. This palisade, even for security here, although it wasn't open. Castle Age is in. Botkin crossbow. I don't think HJ will be able to catch up with Erikur in time to get some pick-offs before Erikur gets crossbow on his own, but these archers and skirms will easily break through a palisade gate over here, and then, or even on this side, would be a good option for HJ to hit Erikur's main gold. But looks like HJ wants to break in the palisade gate here, which is also fine. Look at this, just going down the paper. It's almost three-shotting this one. Military count pretty even here. No secondary or third TC for HJ for a moment, but that goes for Erikur as well. Erikur is not queuing crossbow. There is queuing crossbow, okay, and he does have the numbers advantage if he collects his army here. It's 24 to, well, 28, yeah, 26 to 28 military. HJ kind of in a squeeze here. But if he takes a fight before crossbow kicks in, it's beginning to... There, crossbow kicks in, never mind. Doesn't really take a huge number, but he targets the smaller army here and gets some kills in. Sustains the numbers, HJ, and the numbers lead here. Picking off the skirms first, very nice micro actually. And also supplying more crossbows from home. So now 25 to 17 military count here, and HJ seems to be in a good spot here right now. Still no more TCs added for, I was gonna say either Predator, but HJ adds his second TC on his back gold and woodland. Erikur with the villager lead though, and with Viking eco bonus that should show in the food and gold counts here, collecting faster. Collecting more at a time, rather. 3 ranges for Erikur, still only 2 for HJ, so Erikur should be able to outproduce his opponent with a stronger eco here. But on an open map like Erikur had in the 2 unit here, it's still open on this side actually. Although that's a far walk, I would love to see HJ adding some forward siege soon. Especially now that Erikur is adding a defensive siege workshop on his own. I hope, I believe HJ sees that. He could actually try to deny it if he walks in here. I think he can reach the builders. But no, he just wants to get his opponent housed here. Almost succeeding his 85 population. Only 2 more houses and Erikur gets housed. But it's now 29 to 24 army here. Fuel Age skirms don't need to really contribute that much here though. So HJ pulls back a bit again to gather more of his army. Now let's see if we'll have an engagement here. Erikur pulls back, goes towards his mangonel. Is there any siege from HJ? Not yet. He would need to market a Reservit, I think, to support siege production here, but he picks some more skirms here. It's nice in the event of maybe elite skirm being researched and adding knights now, 2 knights now. They should could be able to handle the mangonel, but now it's stuck so nicely within Erikur's crossbows here, so the crossbows can also snipe knights. I think HJ wants to have both knights out before he engages the mangonel here. Now Erikur is in the villager lead, he's slight villager lead as well, but I think he's staying on 1 TC to sustain the army production here. So use as many resources as possible on army production rather than other stuff. Funny enough, this is what you would expect to see from Saracen archers here. I think HJ is going to try to go straight for a counter-attack, but he runs into another mangonel. This is where he could send his knights though, because this one is very much exposed. Unfortunately for HJ, he's losing 1 range now. Means he's down to only 1 range crop production. With Erikur being on still on 3 ranges. That makes the situation a bit rough for HJ. He needs to either do a tech switch or get more ranges up. Now suddenly it looks like HJ is in a rough spot here. It's villager lead for Erikur population lead. He has almost twice the military now. And should expect him to just continue to push, even adding a monastery now. Surely as a defensive measure against a few knights that HJ has on the field. HJ seeing the monastery foundation here. But now tries to snipe the forward bill, but loses a knight in the process. He does have 2 mangonels on his own now. Gets a nice shot there. Trades 1 mangonel for and keeps his own alive. But his crossbow numbers are low, so he's still down to half the military. Might lose. Okay, loses only 1 in the shot there, was almost 2. So nice mangonel micro from both players here, but now HJ weakens the forward mangonel here. And Erikur's siege workshop is at home, so And the siege needs to go a long way forward here. He repairs his mangonel here. So Erikur is still quite ahead in the population. It means he has more military, but the villager counts are somewhat even here. What are the ecos like? There are Erikur floating lots and lots of gold. So good mangonel shot for Erikur there. He almost gets. Oh, that's lucky for 1 HP mangonel. Almost dodging again there, but at least he weakens his enemy mangonel a bit. But it's still looking rough for HJ. Calling the GG. Leaving the score to 1-0 for Erikur here. So let's move on to game 2. We could have a brief look at the stats as well, that's always nice. Huge military score difference in the end. That was Erikur with more siege, more archers. Managing to defend his Viking home base and then taking the army production lead with his superior eco. KD also in Erikur's favor. That was some. Yeah, it says something about the fights that were taken, that Erikur took the better trades. And more resources collected, as is usually the case with Vikings. But look at these uptimes, so it's pretty similar. Although HJ used the market, as people usually do with Saracens, to buy the resources more cheaply to get up to the next stage. This is slightly ahead. And Erikur with a build line, and we see the army numbers spiking up for Erikur and diminishing for HJ. Now moving on to game 2, which will be Plains. So here we go, game 2, Desert Cup between Erikur and HJFE. This is on Plains, a very open map, as you can see here. You have to expand to get to the chunkier woodlands here. Around the base you only have these small patches of say a couple of thousand wood in each patch. And you have some extra hunt here and there on the sides. And sheep seem to spawn really far away, unfortunately, so call for some extensive scouting here. In the event of late game, relics could be important here. We haven't really seen that late game on Plains a lot, but it's certainly something you would consider, because there aren't really too many neutral resources here. So Erikur with the hunts, fantastic still for open map like this. You don't need to build houses, which means you in the in a dark and feudal and cast age, maybe you save lots of wood, not having to build houses, and you could get more production buildings up and just spam army. Hunts actually ideal for feudal fights. Just to you should have an easy time outnumbering your enemy. But norm for hunts is usually to go scouts, and that would really make sense on an open map like this as well. Although the opponent can always quick wall, you will never see a full wall of the base on maps like this, unless you're myself. But HJ is actually going to the chunkier woodland first. This is far back here. That might not be too bad of a move, because this is not like the instinctive move to go for to scout the very far back here. Well, let's see if Erikur. Yeah, he's scouting his own base for now, but let's see if he actually finds this wood line early enough to make some significant damage. Also, having the natural barrier of the woodland here, you could also secure it by gates and walls around. It's simply easier to save your villagers from at least scout raids. Range will be a problem, but then again the ranged units would need to run all the way over there. HJ going for the berries now. He has 4 wood. As Aztecs is also very common to open Rush or Men at Arms because Aztecs get loom for free. That means you're floating an extra 50 gold in the beginning. So sorry, you don't get loom for free, but you start with plus 50 gold, so that means that when you buy loom, you are... Okay, we have a rules violation here. It's Erikur running for HJ Sport. Erikur hasn't been reading the rules properly here, and I'm sure we'll see some serious chat about this very soon. HJ runs after it, but asks Boar. And Erikur plays innocent and doesn't know that that's not allowed. You have to read the tournament rules, my friend. And we will most certainly see a restart here. So I mean, I was certain I had two boars on the same spot and it disappeared. So, which means Erikur is laying a boar. Something which is not allowed according to the tournament. He has a really hard time securing the boar. That was even 2 hits and it still didn't work. That's funny. So Erikur is not responding. Did you take it? In that case, it's a re. And Erikur asks if it's too late to re, but it's not. It's not allowed to take boars in this tournament. So re. Oh yes, yeah. So Erikur now realizes it is not allowed to lay boars, and we'll go to what I have labeled game 3 here. So, same sibs, obviously. Now, unfortunately, with the woodlands kind of even further away from HJ, I wonder if he will go for the same approach and go down here again. I think he might. So, look at this, all these woodlands very far away. You need to rely on the smaller ones in the beginning. So we had a restart because of a boar lane that's not allowed in this tournament. Nice deer for Erikur actually, it's so close to his TC, he could easily lure in these. But again, the sheep spawn so far away. So you have to talk a bit of the positions in the group here. HJ actually took over the spot from Ant-Man, who couldn't play the tournament. He realized after he signed up that he really simply wouldn't have time to play it, or to finish it rather. So HJ took his spot. This is also HJ's tournament. He's arranging the whole thing. Erikur is a very strong player. I think he's ranked among the Norway's Age of Empires 2 players. He's ranked number 5, if I don't remember mistakenly, and he is also in the second place of his group C, which is the highest elo group with 1500 elo and above. So Erikur is certainly a contestant. He's actually already secured his advancement, but he should at the very least secure the second place of the group if he takes home a win in this match. I think he will be taking the second spot if he takes this setup. Sheep spawning quite far away as we see. HJ is seeing a good wood line here. He might go for this one. He didn't. No, he's actually going down to the corner here. So I'm trying to hide away his lumberjacks. Not worst play on a map like this, I think. Because in the end, to attack it, you need to find where the wood line is. So Erikur will have to scout for a while longer to find the HJ's wood choppers. Now actually taking a sheep outside of the TC here. I don't know what HJ is thinking at this moment, but he sticks with one villager on the stray sheep and uses the house trick to secure his a bit weak villagers from the war and brings home the war nicely here without any villager losses. So it's like disrupt a bit of a panic house here and lots of things going on at once here, but now he's missing one wood for the mill, but he's fine now. So a bit of a bumpy start here for the Aztecs player, but he ends up not losing any builds, I think, but the idle time from the panic house here caused him to be slightly behind. Erikur of course doesn't need houses being hunts, so he will never have that issue this match. So 3 on wood for Erikur, 4 on berries, and the rest on the TC of food is very food heavy. That's already suggesting that they will be going for the scouts opening with hunts. HJ now bringing the second war, garrisons it. And he does have a lot of weak villagers here now. That villager almost goes down, but it's fine, fortunately. But now there are 3 villagers down to 4-ish HP here, so that's gonna be a problem in the event of a scout's rush. He needs to really pay attention to his weak villagers here. And this villager goes for another sheep. I would have loved to see that shift task to the boar, but then again, after the boar is depleted, you could just task them over with the sheep. And the sheep is under a TC, so the DK is gonna be limited anyway. Barracks going up for HJ now. Is it dead? Did he take some gold here? Okay, I think it's not a Drush build. He's not taking the 10 gold. It's also 21 pop, so it's gonna be men at arms maybe again. Could even maybe be Eagle Scout since he's not mining gold yet. But then again, being Aztecs, getting the 50 gold extra, you don't really need to start mining gold in the Dark Age for the Men at Arms upgrade to kick in. You could make 3 militia and still afford the Men at Arms. But now going to place another lumber camp here. Is he going for a closer one this time around, or is he actually going? Oh, Erikur scouting the builds now, is he? Yeah, he's following them. He sees there are labeled lumberjacks, but HJ chases him off with one villager here. But sending them all the way down here, that also still suggests to Erikur that HJ has gone to a wood line further away. If he knows the map layout, he knows that there are huge wood lines to the sides or across the map, so Erikur now up to the fuel age. It's actually dropping a range right away, not so stable. That could be a reaction as well to the fact that HJ has gone for a woodline very far away, which is will be easily secured from scouts, but more difficult to secure from archer fire. You could of course always put up a defensive tower, and range also going up for HJ here. Did he send anything Benetar's at all? He didn't, so it's actually straight archers or straight skirms build for HJ here. What does he know about his enemy? He doesn't really know too much. He's seen the food and wood here. So it looks like 10 on wood for Erikur, so he should be able to. He does have very few gold for now, so might be able to get too many archers out. What's his resource count like? Skewing archers. Double range for HJ though. He should be able to defend an archer's opening easily here. I think I would say that Scout's opening would have worked better for Erikur on an open map like this with but there's the stable as well, so if any skirms go out on the field, then the Scouts can handle skirms from HJ, so we may be seeing a combination of a full field war here. Villager might go down here for HJ. Can I get it back home to garrison in time? Yeah, he'll garrison. He's fine. 4 villager now for Erikur. That's the archers and the scout, but he is adding some more scouts as well. So he could be looking to go with the archers on HJ's wood line, but that's not really scouted from Erikur yet. He needs to find it. He's probably confused now, seeing that where is HJ on wood here? He doesn't have any on wood near his base. But the scouts are out. Even scouts in numbers could challenge small groups of archers like this. So, and they don't have ledging yet. But it's double range production for HJ, and it's sustaining it very nicely here. He has now 8 on gold and I don't know, 10 on wood, so you should be able to keep both ranges producing constantly. Both getting fletching now, and Erikur adding his 4th scout here. He's bringing in some skirms of his own as well. I think we're looking at 2 players opting to stay in feudal for a while here. That could be nice to watch some intensive micro battles and such here. So also considering that Erikur's hulls, his villager count is only 2 more than HJ. Now these archers have fletching, but the scouts want to run into that group. They're going straight forward to try and do some damage. They could hit the barriers here, although that's pretty easy quick hold for HJ. 1 house there, with a few palisade drops here. This archer will die. No patrol. So archers are fine. Now just scouting for woodlands, gathering some intel here, attacking the house for some reason. But HJ quick waltz this villager in. Erikur still scouting the woodlands here, so probably very confused. Where is he getting his wood from? And I'm sure HJ is taking preemptive measures down here. Is good quick wall it any moment. Yeah, there we go. Palisades are up. He knows the scouts are on the field. Will lose 1 villager in his gold now, but he's adding spears. Oh, that's the weak villagers from the horse. That's a huge deal for Erikur. They're picking 3 villagers. HJ down to 28 villagers versus 36. So big villager lead for Erikur, but the Aztec eco as well kind of saves HJ a bit here. They carry more resources. And HJ now on the forward with always archers here, so picks off whatever army Erikur has at home. He does so with taking a minimum of losses here, mixing up a bit here, now causing lots of idle, one-shotting the scout, getting some villagers from Erikur here. That's 2 down, I think already 3. It's gonna be 4, okay, evening out a bit here now. It's 35 to 29 now. But have to consider the idle time for Erikur as well as 14 idles, so effective build count for HJ on the working side is huge. Okay, there's some fighting on the other side here. Now 3 spears chasing 5 scouts here, even some archers finding the match. I think HJ is cleaning up the scout forward easily because Erikur has to pay attention at home to these archers. And villager count 22 to 7 now. This could be an early GG for Erikur actually, because it's so down in villager now. He can't really play the hand's advantage being under this pressure. This open map like this is kind of full walling is almost not an option, although HJ is closing in on it. So I also question the scout's choice here. They do have the armor though, but HJ getting more picks here. A few skirms, but now 33 wheels and 4 idle for Erikur. HJ been producing villagers, something Erikur isn't doing at the moment. He needs to get army out as well. So 8 islands now, HJ definitely in the will lead here, and also with the Aztec eco bonus collecting more resources for him, or villagers carrying more resources each turn. So a little bit of attention here, and I think HJ will focus down these 2 skirms as well. So Erikur won't really get his numbers up all that easily, and now has 7 scouts though. And with archers spread out like this and quite a few of them weakened, then Erikur could take a good fight here still. Yeah, he might be cleaning this up now. He's using skirms on the backside to get some hits in, while the scouts are a very nice fight here for Erikur. He's cleaning up the archer for the HA, but they've certainly proven their value, picking off so many villagers and evening out completely the will counter. HA even in the lead here, and also been replenishing army at home. He has 3 spears and some archers, so if he goes forward again, the spears will handle the scouts nicely, and the archers and the spears could even help taking out skirms. So military count almost even now, but still in combination, I think HA has the stronger option. Is also researching Castle Age, which Erikur is miles away from at this moment. Has to be said as well that Erikur still hasn't scouted HJ's woodline. He may not be prioritizing it, but now HJ is putting up a lumber camp at home as well. Could be like almost a decoy here, just to lure Erikur into taking this, or maybe HJ is actually low wood, which he is, so he needs more collection. Still, okay, HJ stacking his villagers, his archers here, and using the villagers to focus down scouts as well, but then there's skirm fire. What a mess this is. But it's HJ cleaning up again, keeping the army lead slightly and sustaining the villager lead as well. So it is HJ still in the leading position here, and it has to be said this woodland has been untouched down here the whole time. So it's now closing in on Castle Age, and what's Erikur's situation like? He's still very far off in gold and wood and everything here, so I think upon the Castle Age reach, it won't be too long until Erikur might need to call the GG here. So will we see, okay, Bodkin first, getting the range, and then once the gold is buster enough, he will also get the crossbow click. Erikur trying a forward here now. Is that tower on one of the woodlands that actually isn't in use here? So I think Erikur really needs to brush up on his scouting and find out where HJ is taking the most of his wood. And if he's planning to place a tower on the woodland, why not place it here? Because that's, yeah, he must be seeing that there's some wood collecting going on here. He of course denies expansion to this woodland, but and this tower might reach some farm, so it's not entirely useless. This villager is weak as well, so it could go down. But Bozo, crossbowing in HJ's eco is just going to be so much stronger here. He's now got crossbows with Botkin and +1 armor. And they could handle anything that Erikur is sending at him right now. Now adding siege as well, which means he could mangle down the tower. Is Erikur's stone is not really on stone at the moment. Yeah, need to dodge some tower fire here though, but this forward shouldn't be stressing HJ out. He might need to garrison this villager, but she goes down. She was already weak. And TC going down on the main gold of HJ here. Erikur also has expanded to the side with his wood now, so scouts are back in, picking off a few more villagers. HJ actually behind in builds again now, but that has to be attributed to the fact that HJ is in Castle Age, Erikur is still in the Feudal Age, doing the full Feudal Age fighting here as well as he can, adding another tower. But HJ now with 2 TCs, also mangonel out, he can mangonel down the towers. And will not give up his position here, I believe. Surely it's annoying to have towers firing at your farm eco and some of your woodlands, but that's even a third TC on the woodland here, so it means the scouts won't really be doing much damage. 4 TCs total for HJ now. He needs to pay attention here in garrison though. Right, he's not looking here. Taking quite a few unnecessary losses here. But still with the 4 TCs, he's not producing from all, of course, but he has the option to, so he knows he will never fall behind in villagers, so losing villagers at this point isn't as significant as in all games. He's using mangols now to tear down the towers. Good garrison here as well, and get these scouts down. And Erikur is massive military leader, but still a Feudal Age military fighting against Castle Age crossbows with full upgrades, so the skirms are not posing a threat to HJ here at all. Scouts run in, but Erikur can't take any good fights here. He needs either much larger numbers or just to get to the Castle Age, which he's really struggling with at this point. He isn't even gathering gold at this point here, so all the HJ needs to do is stall out the game, take a few good fights. Even getting university now with ballistics, then he can focus down the scouts more easily. The TC fire helps out here, and Erikur is losing army again. Erikur, however, isn't losing gold because he's not spending it or mining it, so if he can continue to be annoying and get his gold income back on track, he's in a better position, but the GG is called. So that brings the score to 1-1, and we will have a game 3 in this set. So pretty smart move of HJ to go for the far woodland at the very beginning, so that you don't really expect your opponent to scout the corners. Maybe not everyone, especially not in the early game, so pretty nice move there. HJ with larger KD, that was mostly scouts and skirms and Feudal Age unit where he never actually made it to the Castle Age. He was earlier to Feudal, but kind of he never found HJ's woodland, which means HJ could all the way have a secure wood income and sustain his archer and farms production rather easily, because it's never denied. Villager high very good, that's also saying a little bit of the losses HJ took around his DCs and for villagers, but HJ very confident in being in the age and tech lead, and also with more DCs always the option to outproduce his opponent, so that was never really a big deal. So kind of interesting to see the army spikes here. This was the peak of HJ's army with archers, then they went forward and did lots of damage on Erikur's eco, on the gold and wood and whatnot, and then finally lost them to Erikur's scouts around here, and never really went more into boom mode in Castle Age and just defended and sustained this already significant eco lead, I would say. So takes HJ's game in the end. So, moving on to game 3, we have Serengeti, which is Erikur's pick of home map. So looking at the safe side, we have HJ choosing Gulfs, not the typical Mongols. Maybe he expects his opponent to go Mongols and he wants to kind of counter pick a bit. And you know, Mongols, likely the very best safe Serengeti. It's almost well, it's you can't really label it a free win, but it's a huge advantage being Mongols on a map like this with all these hunters. Look at this, all of Erikur's hunt here is assembled in one place, so if he puts one mill on the bears, he could easily reach most of the hunt, which is huge as Mongols here. You might see him pushing in a few of the ostriches or hunt, though, just to get hunting going as soon as possible, because Mongols, they collect the hunt 40% faster. So it's a nice Serengeti map here for Erikur, some good woodlands on the sides and the back, so... And also gold's kind of close to the TC here and also in the back here, so you could actually secure quite a bit of the map by some walling here. I would expect Erikur to be really early, much earlier to the field age than his opponent, because Mongols collect food so much faster. So he could even go for a 17-18 pop scouts opening if that's desirable. If he wants to go scouts opening, he wants to get there before the Goths player can start his militia spam. So Goths also kind of excel on open maps, maybe not with the same kind of mobility as the Mongols with the mounted units, but they have a very cheap militia line compared to other civs, starting already in Dark Age, 20% cheaper in Dark Age, 55 utility and cast 35 in Imperial, so Goths definitely an infantry civ. It's not unusual to see them open with some kind of rush and adding a few more militia than you usually see players do with other civs, so that could be what we're looking at here. HJ also with 5 zeros in the back here, so he could consider milling in the back here and have it somewhat secured with a few walls or Greek walls. Well, we have a scout fight in the middle here. Erikur gets the first hit in, but he bails on the fight actually. Maybe doesn't want to risk HP also on his scout at this moment of the game. He wants his scout later on for his scout rush, if that was he's going for. So you want to keep your initial scout HP as intact as possible as well. But now scouting his enemy's base. Erikur has found his opponent now, seeing the golds, running almost into TC fire, but HJ chooses not to react to that. We could see another scouts engagement here. HJ is already weakened, but Erikur doesn't take the fight, still just choosing to leave his scout alone for what is likely to be a scout's opening. Is at 200 food right now. He's milling the hunt here. It's not the most efficient, but then again he has 6 villagers working. They are bringing it into the mill, and is with this being the only mill he kind of needs, he's saving wood for another mill if he goes for milling the rest of the hunt here. I think we may be looking at a 19 pop scouts here actually for Erikur. I believe he will be clicking Fuel Age after Loom is completed here. Might need to force drop. He's idling a little bit here before clicking up, and he clicks up at 650, meaning he will reach Fuel Age in before 9 minutes, I think. HJ now adding his barracks. He is at 21 pop actually, so he is 2 villagers ahead, which is kind of surprising, but Erikur has been of course continually producing while Erikur is on the way up, but I believe Erikur must have had some idle time on the way. Now pushing in some hunters, some ostriches, and will it be men at arms for HJ here? He's not mining gold, so that might not be the case. Also doesn't really need to take any 20 gold to produce militia, but he's going feudal. So he's either going into defensive mode against the inevitable Mongols scouts opening, or he could be doing something else, of course, but he's not going to gold or anything here, Erikur, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be scouts. Let's see. 4 gold for HJ already. He most certainly is going to do some kind of militia line play here. Could be opting in for some archers as well, of course. He is rather heavily on wood. So I'm curious to see what's the play. It's 22 pop up for HJ. It usually suggests some kind of advanced build, but he's not queuing anything from the barracks, so he might be going straight for the archers as well, considering his counter, or a combination. Or he'll go straight into spears because he knows that his opponent is sending scouts in his way. He is now adding militia. No, queuing spear. And getting both lumber and mill upgrades right away. So here, scouts are in. Will we see some creek walls here? Maybe. There's nice HJ patrolling his scout near his home base here. And the scout's spearman is chilling out near the mill here. So now Erikur is heading for HJ's woodline. Might get a villager pick here. Goths have free loom though, so they're not the easiest to go scouts for sure. But there we go. Gets one pick off with only 2 scouts here. Another scout now going for the berries, but the spearman is there. Has to walk all the way around, but I think HJ should be able to save this villager. Yep. So sending spearmen out on the most significant resources here. 1 spear patrolling the gold, 1 spear patrolling the food. Nothing on the wood for now. HJ is 3 villagers down at the moment. He did lose 1 to this scouts rush. Mongols have more line of sight on the scouts, so the score lead here could be attributed mostly to Erikur's scouting. Double range blacksmith for HJ is more or less going straight into archers here, so not really playing the Goths militia line advantage here just yet. Now 5 scouts on the field. I think we're seeing Erikur adding even more, so we'll have some feudal age fighting on our hands here again on Serengeti. But 2 ranges producing for HJ, and Erikur is sort of walled on his front line, but it shouldn't be a problem to hit this back wood line here still. So some fights. Might lose another villager here. Spears chasing, but they won't catch up with this scout as easily. It's 24 to 99 builds, and Erikur taking a huge lead here with this scouts, 7 scouts on the field now. They could even challenge spearmen by this point. He's not getting any upgrades for them though. He's using them mainly for distraction. He knows he's done some significant damage already now, picking up vills. He's 6 villagers in the lead now. But that's not going to last long if HJ chooses to go for the counter attack. He could send his archers straight forward if he wanted to. So putting the villagers home to the TC could make some walls here as well to force the scouts path around. But now HJ is in chasing mode. He needs to reposition his army on this side though. Now chasing the scouts, but what's Erikur's eco like behind this? He hasn't produced nearly as much wood and golden things, but he's adding archers and skirps himself. He's seen HJ's archers, so that might be a reaction to that. Since it's only 1 range. Now actually a 2nd one. So we could be doing a archer follow-up. So maybe we'll see. We will be seeing more continuous feudal fighting here. This stray archer here will definitely go down to scouts fire though. It's 8 scouts on 1 archer, that's not too pretty. Berry is now depleted, adding a house, and we'll maybe move this on to wood, I guess. It doesn't have too many wood. Adding a market, which is always useful to switch up your resources a bit. Now 3 archers and 2 skirms forward for Erikur. I'm not sure if that's enough to challenge this pure archer army here. They have fletching, so does Erikur, but he needs to keep his army collected if this is gonna do anything. Erikur goes straight into HJFE here, but then he needs to pass next to the TC, which is not an option. He sees the building villager, sure, they will snipe that one if he runs in, but it's really hard to target villagers behind buildings like that, so the builder actually makes it here. So nice quick house wall there from HJ. Now sending spears in, and this is kind of a choke, so the spears could get some real significant hits in here, and the archers as well sticking in this choke point between markets and houses here. Taking a good fight. Now a few more stray archers here that will be picked off by scouts. I think we'll see a few more villager picks as well. Nice splitting up the scouts here, attacking both archers and villagers, trying to dodge TC fire, and doesn't lose too much overall here. Spears are kind of out of position here, but they're staying near the gold, which is essential for HJ's continuous production of archers here, but it does have a significant archer army now. It's 17 archers, I believe, and some spears. But HJ desperately needs to make some damage on his opponent now, but none of them are actually close to clicking up the castle age, but HJ is behind the villagers. There is a 6 villagers difference as of now, but is being put under constant pressure by his Mongol opponent here. This should be a good fight for HJ, even though there are now 6 skirms on the field. He could focus them down. Spears actually kind of counter both skirms and scouts if they can get close, that is. Yeah, Erikur now actually adding quite a few farms. His mining, he's got 4 gold. He hasn't been spending too much gold on army, so he will be on the way to castle age soon. The HJ is up though. He may have used the market. I didn't notice if he did, but HJ is the first castle age. If he can get the castle up and get Goth's unique tech, he's gonna have a really easy time countering mounted units. But looks like another villager, maybe 2, will go down here, and Spears chasing. Okay, saves the other one here. HJ with a military lead, but behind in villagers, so he's behind in population overall. Considering the number of skirms that Erikur has, I think that his next move might be to upgrade to elite skirm, maybe even night camp for these scouts, since it's 7 scouts total. Did he go to stone yet? No, he didn't, so there's no Mind Buddha in the planning for the moment. Now going for HJ stone, he really wants to delay HJ's castle and unique tech as much as possible. So picks up many spears here. There's only 2 spears, 3 spears left for HJ now. But he will get crossbow, so then he should easily deal with this army. So it looks like Erikur wants to go for some camp follow-up here. He's getting an attack for his, well, both militia line and, or infantry line and knights line, but that case, he needs to preserve his numbers here. He is constantly on the offensive here though. It's getting elite skirm, as I suspected. He has quite a few skirms on the field, and he will need that against HJ's 20 crossbows here. And he's getting light cab, and generally a lot more. But it looks like Erikur's economy being untouched is a lot more. It's a lot stronger overall. He stays at 1 TC for now though, whereas HJ is adding 2 town centers. So light cab is in. There's 7 light cab, but 3 of them are very weak. One of them is actually only 3 HP here. Don't think they'll do too much, but with the extra attack upgrade, it should be able to snipe a well or 2 at the right places. Maybe go over here and find the most exposed ones. You see more elite skirms added, actually quite a lot of elite skirms here. What's Stone's situation like for HA? Is very, very close to being able to add a castle now. He can afford it now. Where will the castle be? It will be actually right next to his TC here, so the TC is protecting the castle going up. Would send more builds to build, which he's doing right now. I think this castle will never be denied since he can just garrison inside the TC and focus down any army here. But looking at the eco, Erikur with a much stronger eco, has been untouched at home, so still staying on 1 TC. It's giving HA a hard time getting the castle up here. We'll lose villagers in the process, I believe, but the castle this just has to go up. And if the skirms still stay here, the archers and skirms will die like nothing. Certainly not a huge loss for Erikur. That says he's only losing food and wood mostly, but the castle is up and he needs to back off and actually saves quite a lot here. It's adding siege now on the hill, but if he's going for a mangonel push here, that's gonna be tough, because although it could sneak in on this side, but it's not ideal. He will need mangonels anyway to deal with archers here, but now Huskons are on the field and they could surely handle skirmishers easily with their speed and attack here. Look at this. It takes so many shots just to get them down, even though they're missing upgrades here. HJ getting the army just now, but they can still tank quite a few shots here. But Erikur's villager count is significant here. He's going for a stone now. Might be seeing Mangoda coming in. He's getting a stable as well. So that is... There's the first stable, yeah, so it's a second stable. And he's assumed this hill with the siege workshop, so the HJ can't take this hill easily now. Monastery as well, I don't know quite get the application for that. Could be to negate any knights possibly coming against skirms, but there isn't any stable here for HJ. HJ is now on the move forward. Let's see if he can do some damage here. He should be able to 1 or 2 shot these knights. Yeah, knights pretty up with a +1 and +2 defense, but 3 builds on the danger. Yeah, no ballistics yet for HJ. And he has to be careful at home as well. He's still pretty behind. The villagers need to make some significant damage now. Picks off a middle or 2 though. Needs to dodge DC. Brings even a Huskall in there, which is a nice complement to the raid here. He does have more speed and can handle a lot more archery fire. Light Camp could also be considered a counter to Huskall, so it's nice to have them on the field like this. But now there are 6 knights in the Light Camp going for the crossbow, but they don't engage. Erikur waiting for even more numbers. He does have the superior eco to back this, and he is adding a town center, 3rd town center now. And slight military lead. He wants to bring his skirms in the fight, so when the skirms and knights take this engagement, surely this will be cleaned up. All that while also being slightly annoyed by some skirms here. So Erikur forcing his opponent to both defend while he's on the forward here, so you need to divide your attention, and I'm not sure if HJ knows that this TC is up, so he has to be careful where he goes here. Could take the hill and make the most of this fight. He might very well lose this fight anyway. But this will make the most of it. Pick off a few knights and try to diminish your opponent's numbers. Get as good trades as possible. Sending a few Huskarls in here and there. They could easily raid under TCs because they can tank so many arrows, these guys. It's just so annoying to deal with. You need to task the knights to chase them. See, the skirms are doing nothing here, as expected. But if actually doesn't get the unique tech, I don't think he's prioritized that because perfusion is it? No, it's anarchy. He's an investment, but he has a few barracks out. I'd love to see some more barracks and some more spamming. Now producing out of 2 or 3 TCs, but severely behind in villager numbers here. And Erikur now adding castle on this hill to take some more map control. He's securing-ish gold on this side and stone on this side by taking this hill. He's got a huge presence on this area now where HJ has been forced to stay at home. He has added his 4th TC now, so he might be able to catch up here. Yeah, still only 3 TCs for Erikur. But population also speaks about the difference here. The military count, HJ is behind. It's behind 20 villagers as well. That could be caught up though with some market tricking and having all 4 TCs producing. Has added pikes here now. This should be a decent fight for HJ with TC Fire helping out, but that means also idle time. So now an effective of 55 villagers working, but pikes and Huskarls chasing down the knights here and not allowing Erikur to do significant damage here. He's added rams here now that wants to take out HJ's production from the barracks, but the castle is firing from the behind. The Huskarls don't do great against the siege here. But it will be only 1 barracks going down in the end and some pikes into the mix here as well. It's not going to be easy for the knights and light cap here. I like that HJ is garrisoning inside the castle here, because that if he focuses castle fire, he could take down the rams more easily here. There we go, he's targeting the ram now. And 3 rams is most certainly not enough to take down this castle, which Erikur really needs to do to get some real good raids in here, but it's still is extending his villager lead even more here. Erikur, I think we will be seeing Mangudai on the field soon as well, and then really increases the options already, at least until HJ can get Huskarl numbers really spiking up. I don't see any more barracks added either. HJ is adding farms. He needs to get his eco up to match Erikur's here as well as he can, but while also adding pikes and Huskarls, so still being forced on the defensive here. He can't really make any damage to Erikur at his home base, although Erikur is still kind of open, so it will still be an option to send a few Huskarls into raid, I think, just for the annoyment of it. Yeah, now dropping a few more barracks here, so let's see how this will play out for HJ. It's 26 behind the population now. Military count is evening out, but now Mangudai are on the field as well. Let's see how the Huskarls do against those guys. And the pikes, when they get close, of course, they eat this Mangudai. You can't really allow that to happen. This called for some micro. But looking at the map here in general, HJ wants to add another TC here, and these knights definitely not on patrol, but Erikur spots the minimap, I guess, and will definitely deny this TC. Erikur also on the way to the Imperial Age now, HJ being pretty far away from that. Looking at the eco here, it looks like it's beginning to look like Erikur's game here. We could upgrade the ramps to Captain Siege ramps, or of course tramp the castles down from this hill. There are many options here. Looks like the siege workshop will go down actually, but HJ took some losses here. I don't know if he managed to send any villagers back home, but lots of weak knights here. I think he'll lose some to TC Fire. This farm could be sniped actually. It's fine. So military count still pretty much the same, but Erikur with a stronger army. Siege workshop goes down, but another castle is going up. Is securing Trebs. Yeah, he's adding Trebs. And when we see send his knights back to, yeah, he's really looking to deny HJ any neutral resources here. I don't think he's still kind of sneaky here from HJ taking that neutral wall with only 2 guilds just spreading out like that. But now the traps will be out and HJ is still very far away from winning Imperial Age, so how does he fight this back? That's gonna be tough. Scurbs here dealing with pikes nicely actually. I think Erikur wants to wait for his second trap to come out before he does anything more. And the monk now healing up knights as well. And 2 builds of HJ on this neutral gold were taken down. I think it's getting harder and harder for HJ to get gold. He has this hill there, but a few Mangodai on this hill will devastate that eco expansion as well. Now adding even a castle on this hill, Erikur, and now we will have a castle to defend this trend push, and I don't see any way back from HJ from this kind of push. Eco looks very much stronger for Erikur here, so now adding Cavalier as well, adding another trap, and we may be looking at the GD moment quite soon here. What happened if 2 guys have the same score after group stage? Kong, isn't it kind of usual to have a tie break? Like, let's say that if 2 players have the same score, but one player has beaten 3rd place and the other hasn't, or no, not actually beaten, but the amount of matches in each set that had a 2-0 set counts more than a 2-1 set. I think that's the play, but I'm no tournament expert. I think that has to be HJ's decision. So HJ lost his castle now. He's kind of holding on, adding even more barracks. Doesn't look like he has the unique tech, because this takes a lot of time to get them out. Okay, Air12 says it's true. Yeah, but I think that's right. I think the last spot is only between Yobi and Rablebok, because if Yobi beats Rablebok, then I'm not 100% sure. Okay, no, but if Yobi beats Rablebok, it would be Yobi, Air12, Kong, and Erikur going to the next stage. And that match isn't played yet. So huge score difference now. There's lots of blue all over the map. Erikur is really just denying any sort of expansion for HJ here, and surely the GG moment has to be coming very soon here. Also quite a few Mangodai on the field now. Huskals can of course contest Mangodai and to some extent the siege as well, looks like. But there's the GG, well played, and HJ wishing Erikur good luck in the next round, and it ends the set to 2-1 for Erikur. So well played by both players. Nice to see some 2-1 sets in these games, and also not only Mongol's Mirror on Serengeti here. So let's have a look at stats here. KD in favor of Erikur. He did assume map control from the very beginning with the scouts and keeping them alive to get them to be light cav later on as well. But really good set, these matches here. Lots of back and forth, and yeah, well played to both players here. See what Mongol hunting bonus can do on a map like this. You could go feudal it very early. And we see Erikur stayed in feudal for a bit longer. He masked skirms and kind of kept HJ annoyed at home and didn't allow too much expansion. Erikur even picking 3 relics, getting some extra gold there, and significant villager high in the end. Which is also impressive considering he was always on the offensive to get this kind of boom going at home in the back of all that. So you have many moments with pretty similar RP counts, but eco just growing for Erikur and HJ, always under raids and pressure, losing builds here and there, and couldn't really keep up in the end. So GG, well played, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more games some other day.